of the population, change reality.
Changing the education system on the basis of the flat Earth theory is not going to change the cultural supremacy that is pushed through.
Best of all evils, my friend.
Why did you not stop?
Yeah.
Why didn't you not go all cash? I hear what you're saying.
That's the reality.
It's the least of all evils.
So we don't want to give this no more distractions right here. One distractions.
So guys,
Content over everything.
I understand you're talking from the tech side. I think technology can help us. It can make us. It can actually put us into a simpler, more refined system. And technology can do that.
I think you should learn technology. And this is hold on, bro, for a family.
Hang on, let's quiet.
I think this is something that you have to identify to me, but I take it that there is some challenges when you try to give this information to the public, right?
Yeah.
You can do it through technology, though.
But I'm saying for you, I think for me, having more of a technical language about what you're speaking, will actually resonate better with the people who can
I've
listen.
done that on many blogs. Also. I use the analogy. Can I give you an example of that? I use the analogy. The brain is actually akin to a computer, basically. Yeah. Okay. And Wi-Fi is basically, so this our bodies are basically biological computers. Yeah. Right. So we get downloads. Basically, let's say the brain is the computer. We can agree on that, biological computer. Do you know where we're getting? So the Wi-Fi is all around us. Yeah. But do you know where we're getting our downloads from? And I mean, this is something DNA, but that's in there. It's switching on and off, but it's coming from the sun. That's right. No. Right there. It's coming. Everything comes from you come from the sun, my friend. All the food that you have comes from the sun. Yeah, it's all come from the sun. Everything is generated from the sun. Everything. If you please research this.
And I'd agree with you. I'd agree with you. But I'm saying what I'm saying.
So the sun.
There are many ancient cultures. There are many ancient cultures that would agree perfectly with what you're saying. This is why when Europeans went to certain places, they said that they worship the sun. It was just, you know what I mean? People appreciate what the sun was. But the point is that would apply in a flat universe or a flat Earth or around Earth.
Simple as that, yeah. DNA. Can I just say, this guy's brought up a good point. This guy's brought up a good point. DNA is actually the software. It's your software to you. It's unique to you. Yeah, it's unique to you. He has different software. We all have different software. But the fuel that powers your computer is coming from the sun.
So
you're not independent, my friend.
What is it? What is it that you want? Oh, because I want to be inclusive. Because we're very nice collective group of people.
And actions. Very inclusive.
Yeah. So I want to know what is it that you want? Like, so there's something I want.
What does I want?
So you're here now.
No, I don't have any agenda. I don't have any beliefs. I'm just sharing. All I'm doing is sharing information.
There must be something you want.
No, I don't.
There's no result.
Talk about flat Earth.
No agenda. No belief. No agenda. No belief.
I think you diminish the information that you're trying to put out there by saying that you don't have an agenda.
I don't know. Why would I have a single person?
You know why?
Do I have an agenda? How could I have an agenda? I don't have an agenda.
Information that doesn't serve a purpose is pretty useless. If the information doesn't serve a purpose,
especially when it comes to black
people. Especially when information that doesn't serve a purpose is pretty useless.
No, all it is sharing information. That's all I'm doing.
For the purpose of what?
I'm coming here and about veganism.
The best kind of information is that can be applied.
I've benefited from some things. So veganism, so I'm just sharing it.
You're talking disciples of Dr. Sabian and kind of things there. But that's different.
So you want to know about stationary level plane? Because I've done my research, taken years, but I've done my research.
I'm not sure if Dr. Sabi believed that the Earth was flat or the Earth was round.
He's just researching the human body.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it wasn't dependent upon. Right, this is the point I'm trying to make. He's just looking at. No. It's not about not being ready, you know.
They're not ready.
It's not about not being ready.
No, I'm not even.
Do you know what it is? Indeed.
No, I'm just sharing. I don't have any agenda, guys. I'm just sharing information. That's it.
Maybe I would love.
That's it.
No. I'm being very serious here. I'm being very serious when I say this. I would love, to get to a point in my life whereby the Earth being round or flat is a primary concern for me. I would love. I would be in a very good state of existence.
Have you done any research?
No, I really would.
Have you done any research then? Have you done any research on this?
I've done some.
Have you done any?
There are more important things.
There is some more important. There's three important things. Where are you? who are you and why are you here.
I agree.
When you realize why you're here, then you have the opportunity to change your reality and create your reality, co-create your reality.
I agree. And
this is not black people's biggest problem
It's
right
pride,
now.
yes, pride.
I don't even. I don't see any divisions
right now.
I don't see. Sorry, I've gone beyond that point. I don't see divisions.
And that's part of the problem.
I've gone way
That's
beyond
part of
that.
the problem.
I've gone way
Black
beyond
You're in
that.
your own world, and that's good. Well, you're in your own
Flat
flat
Earth.
world.
Yeah, exactly.
But-
As you are, my friend. You're in your own world. So is everybody else.
Yeah, but the thing is,
So is everybody
the
else.
needs of our collective won't be.
No, there's, do you know there's
really,
millions on the internet now that have researched this. Millions of people who are coming to the
No,
same
I've
conclusion.
met
There's a
Robert
guy
today,
called Eric
so we
Debate.
was having a
Guys,
conversation.
Eric
I
Debate,
think he went
200
on a
proof on a spinning ball. There's a guy, Eric Debate with JB Casby have put up $10,000 if you can prove that you're on a ball. Nobody's accepted that challenge yet. 3 months. Nobody will accept that challenge because it's no
Classic.
proof. There's zero proof you're on a ball.
Alright, Dave.
Yeah, there's thousands of proofs you're on a station level plane.
Alright, so
But you know what's provable? You know what's provable?
So why?
Which is I'll ignore everybody's proof.
Why?
That's the caveat.
Why?
But I asked the question,
Why is
like-
nobody taking up the challenge?
Like, what do you
Yeah,
want? I
everyone's
asked the
doing
question, Dave.
it. You're
So
just
what I'm saying
ignoring
is
it.
that's an important. That's an important.
I would
question,
like to
isn't
have
it?
$10,000 for just having a chat.
He
Wouldn't
hasn't
you?
got it to give.
You know what I mean?
What do you want exactly?
Yeah,
I
think
that's
Where
it.
I try to do? Where I try to do?
Okay, go
Where you
on.
want to
What I
achieve?
think he wants
Yeah.
is
Well, he can speak for
Oh, he's
himself.
trying. No, I can
No,
speak
no,
for. Yeah,
I'm
don't
so-
put
Come
words
forward,
in my-
black man.
Don't
Come
put
forward.
words in my mouth
I don't wanna be
there.
on camera.
Speak for your fellow flat.
No,
Don't
I'm
put
trying to
words in my mouth.
I'm trying to help
Speak.
him.
No, I'm sorry. I won't let you put words in my
if
mouth.
you
What
don't
do I
agree-
want? I don't have any agenda.
You don't have any agenda.
Okay, I do.
What's your name? What's your name?
I
What's
do
your name?
want something. Sorry,
Ed.
guys. I do want something. I
All
want
on
a more.
live, all
I
on
want
live.
a more humane
Liam,
world.
you speak for a long time already.
A
All on
more
live, all
humane
on live.
world.
Hold on, hold
That's
on.
it.
There you go.
Let Ed
Okay,
explain
what do you
to
want?
us.
No, sorry. What do you
Let Ed
want?
explain to us.
Speak for what you want, not
Okay,
what I
speak
want.
for what I
Okay,
want.
what do you want?
I think the reason why certain people are speaking about flat Earth is they're trying to bring. They're basically trying to destroy the system where we currently are operating under.
Yes.
And the same system that you guys identify as is an issue
Yes.
that's affecting many people across the world.
Good point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so basically, I think he's trying to like change the way we see.
May I jump in?
But
And this is
it's
what
not important.
I have to do at this point, right?
Good point.
It's like this.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
good
much
point,
it.
yeah.
Growing up, I've seen. I
Yeah.
haven't gone on,
Yes,
friend.
sir, yes,
I've
sir.
seen the condition that many of our people, black people, have in. Right. Historically, we understand what's happened, and then there's a legacy of that today, right? And I'm trying to get priorities sorted. And I find it very challenging when I see brothers jumping in, and this is their priority to really.
No, it's not my priority
Yeah.
at all. It's not my priority.
Well, I hope not,
Do you know
brother.
what? I
I'm
want
glad
the
to hear that, bro.
conversation-
I'm glad to hear that, bro.
I want the conversation.
That brings
to
me
go
joy. That
to
brings
the
me joy to
technology.
hear that.
Yeah.
That is where
Thank you.
That's what we were talking
I'm
about.
trying
That's
to
what
end
we're
this
talking about.
I feel better
conversation
now.
so we
I feel
can move
good.
forward.
That's what we're talking
I've got
about.
some interesting ideas.
All right.
I'd
All right,
love to share
guys,
with
I'm
you
going to dip out here.
Hi, Dave. You have a good
lovely
one,
to
yeah?
meet you
Have a
Take
good
care,
one.
Dave.
Yeah, research the stationary level
There
plane.
you go, boom.
Yeah.
We shall do, we shall do,
Level
we shall
plane.
do.
Yeah, stationary level plane, and try if you can adopt a vegan lifestyle. It's much simpler. I spend
Indeed.
20
We'll talk
minutes.
about- we'll talk about-
20
Dr.
minutes.
Sabi's our brother.
Yeah.
So
20
we
20
already
minutes
know.
each day. That's
Layla
all
Africa,
the
Queen
time I
Afua.
use to make my meals.
We're experts.
Other people, when you cook meat, you spend 3 hours a day.
Indeed.
Guys, use your time wisely. 20 minutes a day. Boom,
Yes,
that's
sir.
it. Okay, simple foods, raw vegan. Thank you.
Take care, Dave.
There you go.
Stay
Dave,
on
have a good one, fam.
stay on the flat path, all
I'll be
right?
over there, yeah?
All right, Dave.
All right. So where are we?
Now, let us get to a serious
There we go.
discussion.
So
Is
what we-
Harry Potter really?
Well, so wrap up, yeah. What we're saying is, so we're literally talking about,
Where were we?
yeah, the value. Is African?
Telecommunications.
Yeah,
we were.
yeah. So we went somewhere else there.
You guys are talking about
we
technology
need to-
and how to educate people
Yeah.
so that they can improve their
Things
environment.
But what-
about the banking system. I'm interested in how is African people of the continent of Africa
Right.
are going to lift themselves from the state that they find themselves in. Because I see this parallel a lot about what you say with the Middle Eastern and Muslims and the Arabs and so Middle Eastern people.
Right.
There seems to be this constant shifting of blame. That it isn't our fault that this is the way we are. It is the colonialists, it is this guy, it is that guy. If it wasn't for this guy,
both
if
ways.
it wasn't for
It's a
that
combination
guy.
of things.
But what I'm saying is, you find yourself in this century at this time. What are the genuine step-by-step things you can do to lift
Create
these
create
countries?
philosophies and ideas that unify, or at least have people of African descent stand side by side in solidarity, right? Having common goals and common interests, and also identifying tangible conversations and conversations that don't necessarily benefit us now.
Exactly.
That half an hour conversation might be an hour about the flat Earth.
Yeah.
That doesn't benefit
Pointless.
black people
Right?
at all.
But
Yeah?
let me answer that question though,
Go ahead.
from the perspective of technology.
Yeah, I'm talking
So
about-
in Ghana, became independent in 1957. Yeah. What's it called? The head of the state of Ghana at that time was Kwame Nkrumah between 1957 and 1966. Yeah. One of the major programs that he had running was trying to bring into fruition, in Ghana, was a thing called the Akosombo Dam, or Volta Dam project, which was in the 1960s. He was trying to develop a massive hydroelectricity program in West Africa that would have not just provided power for Ghana alone, but other nations in West Africa. So part of what he did at that time, was he started an economic union, with Guinea and Mali. It was called the Ghana Guinea Mali Union, right? And so they were looking to basically power, significantly West African states with hydroelectricity, This is before the rest of the world was catching up, to the importance of renewable energy, all right? What happened was, Nkrumah was overthrown, in a CIA, an MI5 orchestrated coup d'etat, yes? Secretary Modibo Keita, Secretary died in mysterious circumstances. People like Patrice Lumumba, who was involved in that program as well, secretly behind the scenes, was assassinated in 1961, okay? So the point is that when we talk about what is Africa going to do, that's the wrong question because it's based upon a faulty premise. Africans have always been doing things, That's the reality. So if we talk about technology, Africa would have led the world, in renewable sources of energy 2-3 generations ago had Africa been left alone to do its work by itself.
There we go.
Yeah, but the reality is no, it's not a generalization.
You were talking about Ghana, and then suddenly now
No.
you're talking about
It's
like a Canadian talking
Yeah,
about
I can do that. I can do that because Kwame Nkrumah said, the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it's linked up with the total liberation of the African continent. So he spoke in particularities and generalities. So I can do that, as an African. The point is that we can't be here and just say, well, what can we do for ourselves? Because we understand that we have enemies. And our enemies have won some victories and we've had some setbacks as a result of what they've done in relation to us. So it's important for us to know about MI5 and NASA and the Navy and Army and the FBI and the CIA because they are present and on our land today and are affecting our ability to be able to develop renewable sources of energy. There is no place on the planet Earth that has more sunlight than Africa. Africa should be leading the world in solar energy, yes? That's a reality. And there are young people, every now and then you see a story, you might have seen these stories, of some children in some village that are trying to do some solar panel energy thing. Inventing. There is genius. There is genius on the continent, but there is no infrastructure through which to channel the genius. And so when we talk about these things, we talk about them so that we can get rid of, throw off the shackles of these institutions that are affecting our ability to do for ourselves. So it's important that we know about these people and their institutions so that we're able to throw off them shackles right there. And getting back to this conversation about technology now, because even thing like that, the hydroelectricity thing is very important. Just what I'm saying, because this one of the most important conversations that we could be having right now is renewable energy. That's one of the most important conversations that we could be having.
What are the individual nations are doing right now in order to address these things that you just spoke about? Because I can sympathize with exactly what you said in regards to assassinations. For anyone who's read the book Confessions of an Economic Hitman, I mean, you would know my plight is from Iran. We've had the exact same thing. We had a growing democracy. We had a moment in our history where we could almost have that. And it's 100%. The Americans don't even deny it. They enacted a coup and they sent Kermit Roosevelt to, stoke a coup, and that's what they did. They reinstated the Shah. And then.
But Iran was never formally colonized.
No, it wasn't colonized. But
There's
what
a
I mean
difference.
is they still this method that you're talking about,
Yes.
of assassination,
Sanctions.
of economic hitmen,
Yes.
of overthrowing and installing puppet governments. This has been going on for a long time now.
Imperialism has its dangers, but colonization presents a whole nother
Different thing.
different thing.
And the fact that you're saying you know that from an Iranian perspective makes your initial question rather disingenuous.
No.
To be fair,
because I'll be honest, I see both sides. I see the fact that yes, these. You see, from my perspective, I believe in the sort of the saying the fool and his money are soon parted.
Yeah.
I see the Middle East as this golden goose that lays the oil egg, and if the Middle Easterners don't know how to look after it, others will come and take it.
Yeah,
and
but
that's
but the difference is though, we're not discussing fools though. This is the point. We're not talking about fools.
Two halves. I see that the blame should be, first of all, yes, blame the right people. See who your enemies are and believe and understand
it goes
but
beyond
also,
blame.
It's on your shoulders to lift yourself.
I agree, but part of that, but it goes beyond blame. It goes beyond blame. I'm not identifying these people because I want to blame them. They're just a reality that I have to contend with.
Yeah.
That's just the reality. So blaming is a child thing. It's your fault. You did it. I'm not. Yeah, that's all it is. It's intelligence. We're not dealing with blame. We're dealing with intelligence. Right? That's all it is. Right. So the point is that when you talk about colonialism and them kind of things, we address them to the extent that they are present-day realities. Yeah, not just historical research, but just present-day realities.
But how is the colonialism affecting?
Because there's something called neo-colonialism. Yeah, which is where foreign nations control your economies, not necessarily your government, right? But by virtue of controlling your economy, they control your government via proxy. That's just the reality of the situation, right? So if we talk about all these things, this is you mentioned the thing about a fool and his money. Are soon parted, yeah. The issue is that we're not dealing with fools, yeah. What we're dealing with is are people who have had economic systems imposed upon them that they have not been educated about. That's a reality. So if you've been educated about an economic system, one of the reasons why we identify these institutions, IMF and that kind of things, there is in order to educate our people about these economic systems because they have been imposed upon us, not just and to be able to deconstruct them so that we can reconstruct our own economic systems, because the reality is we have been fooled into and convinced into believing that this economic system that we have today is the most progressive in human history, and that is a lie, a very big lie. But we've been taught that by these very institutions. So we have to know what these institutions are and why they want to convince us of these. So this is not just so we can say they want power, but we can also identify the power to achieve what in relation to us. Yeah? And that's what.
I understand. Of course, these institutions are built to protect that economic system.
Exactly.
They were not. The economic system came into play. Then these institutions were created
to protect that. And that's why we were discussing how we are able to use technology in our own environments right now. Yeah, even just in London, to benefit our community about these things, innit? That's what I'm saying. So that we could, because we're not gonna be able to get hydroelectricity in Africa if we can't build film studios in London. Just what I'm saying. You get me? You know what I mean? So
I was keen to find out a little bit more about what solutions you're talking about. Are you specifically looking at solutions within our local community, as in London?
Right now, that's all we can.
As British people, that's where we should be focusing.
I'll give you an example. I have conversations like this with many of my friends all the time. And we're talking about projects that we can actually, there's a consciousness that's going on amongst the black communities all over the world, whether it's in the Caribbean, Americas, or Europe. And I was thinking, surely there must be a way that we can maybe raise some funds. Are you familiar with open ecology? Open ecology?
No.
So basically, it's a way of a community coming together and creating all the necessary tools for you to have a productive society or productive community. So I'm talking about a forklift truck.
I know about that.
You know about that?
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe as a solution, instead of doing the blaming game, thinking of solutions like that.
But that's similar to what Afrikino is doing. Afrikino has an initiative which is exactly that, but we need black people to be reinventing the ball, because it's so important that you learn how to do it for yourself and not borrow from this or have someone say, oh no, you can use our technology, and then we're buying, outsourcing, from another country, for example.
I was also thinking as well, as a solution, for instance, how many black people do we have in the diaspora who could possibly, think about it, just contribute $1 or £1, and how much money can be generated in a non-profit organization?
The issue is what connects us. So a lot of people take themselves out of that collective. Yeah. That's why I say we need ideas and philosophies that unite people, that sees the value in people of that kind of same background coming together to work on solutions.
I was going to say, there are a lot of things that divide us, but I think there's something that unites us. We're all unhappy with the state of how we see Africa. You know, all the advertisements.
Or just our image worldwide.
With little African kids starving with a bowl, looking for a handout and stuff like that. Everyone, we have friends within the community and we have friends outside of the community. How can we get everybody to say, look, this is what we want to do. We want to achieve a goal. We want to set out a pilot program where we're building solar farms or something like that. And we get the collective community.
I think, I always say like change comes in 3 waves, right? You have the first wave, which is the idea. The people come up with the idea. You have the second wave where people who see the idea, they jump on board to try to execute it. And the third wave, because it's already been changed, people just go with it. So right now, there's massive amount of people who, they wake up in the morning, they see a TV show, they watch it because it's there, they walk into a shop because it's there, and it's their natural reality. So the first wave and second wave need to change the infrastructure, so the third wave just happens automatically.
But do you not think the first wave is happening?
I'm saying this is the first wave. I'm saying this is now creation of that first wave. So I might not have the actual ability to actually really go through to the end, but I might spark that motivation in someone on content speak.
I'm part of your group, man.
There you go.
I learned a lot.
There you go.
It's coming in.
Education is always the first point of call.
But I really do believe that what needs to happen is that we need to just somehow, I don't know, are you familiar with Facebook adverts? And
Yeah.
Literally, you raise some funds and you launch and I don't want to disclose my full idea.
Can you trust Facebook to actually put a black man's ad?
I'm glad you said that, because just before this camera started, a gentleman rang me, and he's a back-end developer, and I'm a front graphic designer. We're talking about how to make databases and how to actually make like apps to benefit our community. So when I'm speaking to you now, and this brother is just coming out, he's really making a motherboard device. He specializes in 3D modeling as well as graphics. Okay. So this kind of network is what I'm trying to get.
Is it Blender you use?
No.
All of them.
Yeah. but the idea is to get people like this, people who have particular skills, right, to come together to work on solutions. But as we are doing that, we're trying to influence the parents who have children to actually push their kids and motivate them to be more technology based.
But then you see what happens then is they end up acquiring the skills, getting a high paid job.
Working for
let me answer. That's why we have to have those philosophies. Yeah. We have to have those exercises that ground people. Yeah. So for example, see me, let's say I become a millionaire. Because I'm grounded in these philosophies, I'm not going to turn my back on the people.
Right? And this is part of that is that's the reason because I teach, So I teach in an African Centered Homeschoolers group, And that's the basic intention, So that I'm not a scientist, but I can introduce the students to scientific principles, and ideas, and give them examples of how they can use it to benefit their community. One of the major reasons why we have that is because we're bombarded with images of success that only apply to getting the high paying job. Yeah, just what I'm saying. Yeah. So like what I just said about Nkrumah and them, most you don't know about that. They only associate hydroelectricity with a recent conversation that they're seeing on BBC News.
To back up your point as well, Awolowo in Nigeria also tried to create a nuclear power plant in the 1960s or so.
Yep.
And the British
were against it. Just what I'm saying, but that's the reality. But we have to be able to see ourselves even doing that. But what we also have to know that when we start to make those moves, there are people that are going to try and come and dismantle those things as well. Exactly. We should never get comfortable enough to just say, you know what, we're just going to do it, and we're just going to be allowed to do it. That's just not a reality. That don't speak to history. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, it's not even about, because all of us don't have to be graphic designers and whatever, but teachers are educators, and education is so very important for guiding the aspirations of our people.
You see, the thing is, the way I'm looking at trying to tackle the solution is, we've got so many useful people. Like you said, you've been the graphics designer for 20 years. He's probably, you're teaching, he's designing all sorts. There's medical doctors, there's architects, there's doctors, lawyers, all with the same empathy and compassion that you guys are demonstrating. So how do we leverage and get them to contribute, whether it's an hour or just a small contribution?
Someone needs to start an institution, a black institution.
Are you familiar with the African, African Innovation Fund?
No.
I have heard of it. I don't know much about it.
I think it's basically been put forward by the Rwandan government, Paul Kagame. So they've got an institution in place, and basically they're trying to inspire African youths to focus on technology and create innovative systems that will help the environment.
Yeah,
and I think that's the way forward. Like you said, with the solar thing, 30% more sunlight in Africa than anywhere else
on the planet.
We should be producing.
This is what I'm saying.
But I think the problem is we don't have access to capital. And our leaders in Africa, we've got to be honest with ourselves, they're not really keen on grassroots.
They were put there by somebody else. That's just the reality, you know what I'm saying?
So it has to start from the grassroots.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe that
I do want to take issue though with what you just said in terms of access to capital, yeah. Because I think part of it is that we have to change our way of seeing economics, yeah. If you have resources, yeah, capital becomes less fundamental if you have access to resources. Because at the end of the day, it's the resources, not the capital, that is going to get you to technological advancement. Capital becomes only primary when you're dealing with a capitalist economy. Yeah, just what I'm saying. So there were systems of trade before there was capitalism as an economic system.
Used to buy resources.
This is what I'm saying.
It's the resources.
Right?
Well, we are in the system.
We are in the system at the moment.
For us to
but
acquire land,
I'm not saying that capital doesn't have its place. Yeah. I'm saying that we have to get to a point where we're not saying, if we are in a land that is resource abundant, you know that the saying, in the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. It's about how we are our access to our resources. It's about changing our mentality in terms of access to our resources that is primary. You know what I'm saying? Not that capital is not important based upon where we are at the moment, but I'm just saying that ultimately it's the resources so we don't want to be chasing the money and forgetting to look at the resources, the land. You know what I'm saying?
Which is what seems to be happening with this China thing.
Yeah, like.
Where we're chasing the money to give them the resources.
Exactly.
What did they do?
Exactly.
They didn't have as much resources, but they went and just sorted out what they had and educated their people. And within 20 years, look what they got. Imagine if Africa did that.
Yeah, but the reality is we are all manipulated by money. And until we get rid of the whole capitalist system, there's always going to be someone who's going to be prepared to.
But China didn't get rid of it. But they didn't get rid of it. They just utilized it in the right way.
But
I agree with you.
Good leadership, though, innit?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we don't
but
have
they were still nasty to their own people as well. Yeah. They kind of like fucked up their peasant class. They was nasty to the peasant class because it was the greater good of everything. I suppose that's the way they saw it. So you can argue the negative sides of the Chinese country. A nation, and you can argue the positive sides. But if we can that's a great model. I mean, it would take African nations exploiting their own people if we're going to do it like China, because they exploited their own people, they killed a lot of the people, displaced them. But they also created, expanded the middle class in China.
800 million people out of poverty.
That's what I'm saying. But Africa has the resources, like my brother here saying, Africa has the resources to do that in like 2-5 years.
Let me show you what I mean. Sorry,
can you do that now?
Yeah, go on.
Don't you think that the resources is only valued by the buyer?
Only valued by the buyer.
Not necessarily. No. Let me give you because resources are not just bought. I do see what you're saying. But the point is that trade, money is not a necessity in trade. Yeah, you can trade resources for resources.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So the point is that the monetary system is an illusion, created by capitalist economies. Yeah, the reality is money is only as valuable. Like money only has a real value when it is matched up to a natural resource, and we haven't lived in an economy like that for time. It's an illusionary system that has been created, right? There's no gold standard at the moment, right? So let me give you an example of what I mean. For example, because I like to give these examples of Pan-African success stories. Burkina Faso, right, was made food self-sufficient, under Thomas Sankara between 1983 and 1987 in 4 years. Didn't accept an IMF or a World Bank loan, any aid from foreign aid or assistance, none of that. In fact, he directly rejected them, whilst directly combating a thing called deforestation. The increase of the desert, into Burkina Faso by planting over 1 million trees. You know what I'm saying? My point is that my man wasn't worrying. And now, if you ask anybody, they'll tell you that the economy of Burkina Faso was mashed up. They never had no money in the bank, nothing. But look what. Right, but look what man was able to achieve, because man weren't chasing down P, fam. He was looking at resources. What do we have in our land that we can use to solve these problems? That's what I'm saying.
But that's on an occasion of self-sufficient.
This is what the point. That's the point I'm trying to make.
But then, if I'm looking on the big term of resources, it's the same thing as money.
It can be if
the value of
yeah,
what's on
but
demand.
if the money is valued against the resource.
Gold.
You can eat gold.
I'm asking, you said you can eat the resources.
Yeah, you can eat resources.
Yeah, that's
food. Resources is technology.
Can you just depend on food?
Can you just depend on
Can a human just depend on food?
No. Well, yes.
No. But the point is that money is if the value of your money is measured up against a natural resource, then it makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? We're not living in that economy at the moment.
What I'm trying to get is what I was no, a man just dropped on the bike. What I'm just trying to get is what I'm trying to get is why don't we just become self-sufficient and depend on ourselves?
You know, that's what we're discussing.
That's
what the conversation is about in terms of technology.
Else outside the perimeter.
Say again?
Then depending on outside the perimeter.
Yeah.
Like, as I said,
As opposed to
for yourself to able to build your whatever you're doing.
That's what we're discussing. Can you just come here? Because brother is talking about trying to develop certain programs in terms of getting our youths into technological development.
Yeah.
Right. This is what Raven's talking about all the time. Yeah. Using the digital one. So that's where the conversation started in terms of how we utilize these things. So the brother is creating a prototype for a motherboard through which we can teach our young people about basic computing, computer science, and them kind of things there. That's what I'm saying, so that we can begin to develop these technologies for ourselves. Yeah, that's what we're discussing. So, you know what I'm saying?
No, I've heard him online.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, yeah. No, I was going to say something.
No. So we're all on the same page.
Yeah, so
it's techniques, isn't it?
Yeah, but as I said to you, if we start from scratch, it's the same thing as forms of what Shaka was talking about in forms of trade, understanding that we need to be able to trade amongst each other from what we do, sufficient. So if you've got jollof rice and he's got rice and peas, why don't we just swap
over? Barter, basically.
Here's my question. Do you have some resource-rich countries like the Congo, Central African Republic? Or you have some less resource-rich countries where they don't have abundance of mineral wealth? How does that work in this kind of system?
In the barter system, how would that work?
You have to get a Pan-African identity.
But most, if we have to go to the core of it, most African countries has one form of resource. Regardless.
I would suggest
generally,
that technology. You can look at countries like Singapore that don't have natural resources, but they have human capital. So
human resource.
if you're able to develop a nation of programmers, you're able to. South Korea. Look at South Korea.
Excellent point.
So it's not necessarily based on resources. It's about
excellent point. Human capital is extremely important.
Yeah.
And I think that, and I think, but on another side of it though, as far as I'm concerned, is the fact that, as far as from a Pan-African perspective, is the idea that the borders that are currently are colonial borders. So they were designed specific for the purpose of locking off resources from segregating resources and that kind of things there. Right, this is what I'm saying. So I'm saying part of the thing, one of the things that we solve is creating larger economies or economies of scale that go across those borders. Do away with the borders. You ain't got a problem of, you know what I'm saying, which country ain't got this resource and whatever resource, and them kind of things there. Just something you're dealing with larger land masses in the first place anyway. So trading becomes different.
You know what though? I just want to interject some reality into this wonderful fantastic.
Man, you're talking of because when you say them words, they're like, hold on there. Before you go further, because hold on there. Because hold on. No, listen. You're not going to inject reality, into the conversation, No, if you want to contribute something,
not reality.
Hold on. If you want to, I'm going to make him say his thing. But if you want to contribute something.
I will.
But don't come to me about you're going to inject reality into things. Run that. I'm not interested in that.
You guys just started taking off. Next thing you know, you were standing next to your friend with the flat earth. This is not reality. You're not talking. All the Africans are going to work together. Those colonial borders you're talking about, they were made for the most part to keep Africans from killing Africans.
You know what? Can't conversation. Can't conversation. No. We're not going to do this.
Honestly, tell me.
We're not going to do this.
Africans are not killing.
No, listen.
You say the colonials. Listen.
No. Listen. Wait, hold on.
No, ask him. Break it down.
Some of them were made made from
No.
African
What I'm saying is, no, listen.
Let him handle himself, man. Now, this is
No.
hold on, fam. Let me get on.
Give him the rope. Let me get on.
I'm gonna agree with it because I'm not built for this, you know. I'm not built for this, you know.
What you gotta realize, the problem with Africa,
we're not gonna do this. I'm sorry.
Yes.
What's the problem with Africans?
The Africans, they don't get along with each other. You honestly
nah,
can't
that's
say
fair.
this.
Don't get drawn out.
We're not gonna do this.
Let me make points. Yeah, I know. I want to hear it.
We're not gonna do this.
Africans here and we're getting along just fine.
Come on, conversation.
One voice. International. Go on, say it.
You're getting along because you agreed upon certain set of rules to conduct yourself with in this country. In Africa, they don't.
We'll be eating each other, innit?
What I'm saying is, I can give you the exact same example of the Middle Easterners. The problem with the Middle East isn't the Middle East, it's
You're
Middle
saying it
Easterners.
from your perspective.
It's the Arabs against the other
So what's your
Arabs,
solution
the
then?
Shiites against the Sunnis. The Wahhabis
I'm not interested in
against
solution.
the Sahaba.
No, you're right. Whenever we're building, someone always comes.
You guys,
That's fine.
Discipline is important. Discipline is important.
No, hold on. I'm gonna let him finish, you know. What I'm saying is, people, a guy can't come round there and control the conversation, innit? Right? Hold on. We was on a one accord thing, we was having a good conversation, and a man ain't gonna come control the conversation. So man can finish saying what he's saying, but the conversation beyond this point is not going to be defined by explaining to this non-African that we want to eat each other and kill each other. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. All right.
Here.
Let me hear what you got to say.
All I'm saying is, this is how I see the Middle East. Oh shit, I'm on camera. Okay, I'm in this now. Say this all I'm saying is the problem I see that you guys are defining is the exact same problem that I see with the Middle Easterners. You guys are doing
we're talking about
exactly the same
tech,
thing.
though.
You pretend that
We're
they
talking
all
about
love
tech.
each other and they're all gonna hang. You know, they're all gonna band together. You're gonna sing, sit around the campfire and sing in Kumbaya. Africans do not get along with each other.
Let me ask you. Wait. Have you been to West Africa at this precise moment?
No, I haven't been to. I've been to Egypt.
So if
North
you
Africa.
know there was
It's Africa.
at this moment, over 2 days ago, there was a conference of all the kingdoms coming together.
Yes, but
And they had a meeting. No. They had a meeting to working together to do agriculture. There is a beginning.
Okay, no, I'm not saying there isn't a beginning.
You know what, though?
Never ever say nothing's impossible.
No, I'm never saying it's impossible. I'm just saying
Because
this
you're comparing something that's over there to something that's over here.
I might have to leave.
Two different people.
There's an example of Eritrea and Ethiopia. In Ghana recently, the larger groups in the academy, the Ashanti and the Gentira, were uniting after years of having disagreement. But the reality is, I'm not concerned with whether this guy believes Africa can get along or not. I'm really not. I'm really not. On a level, if that's his belief, he can believe that, fam. The reality is, if me and my brother can get along, that's the most important thing. If me and my brother can get along, that's the most important thing. Hold on. The other day, we were having a conversation, about whether Africans see themselves as Africans and Somalis and whatever else like that, I came back here another week, a Somali brother came up to me and said, you know what, Shakara, I saw the conversation, I'm a Somalian, I'm an African, and I'm black, That's what I care about. This guy can do one. I'm not interested, my G. I'm not really not. If that's his belief, let him have his belief. I don't care, Listen.
You know what it is?
I will leave you with this. You can ignore reality. You cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality.
Cool. Your reality, my G. Your reality. Let me tell you about reality. You see, let me tell you about reality. You see, because we were talking about Pan-Africanism before, I was talking to a Congolese brother about somebody who I love, my man, Patrice Lumumba, Patrice Lumumba, what the magic of Patrice Lumumba, he said to me, was that Patrice Lumumba, whatever group he was a part of, he was able to go around the Congo and unite different groups in the Congo. And when other people were trying to cause division, it was Patrice Lumumba who was able to bring a lot of people together. One of the reasons why he was assassinated is because when he was on the run, yeah, from the forces that were trying to assassinate him, he was stopping in every village that he went into, every city that he went into to speak to them. Yeah, and he was bringing everybody in one accord. Eventually, the people that were chasing him caught out with him. But he was doing the work, fam. We don't need to look hard for examples of us being able to unite. We've been doing it for time, fam. Every liberation movement we've had has been successful in uniting our people. That's a reality. We just have to know it.
Brother, if you've got such a low expectation and opinion of African and black people, why are you wearing a t-shirt with Black Panther?
No, this is
sex, bro.
This is sex, man. No, I don't have
Anyway. Ignore this guy, Maji. Let's stay on mission, fam. Stay on program.
Ask a meaning in West Africa who's got a passport called ECOWAX. So what does that mean?
No. Look, don't misunderstand. I don't have low expectations of Africans.
You're telling us you're in reality?
I'm just looking at the 1,000-year history of what has been happening in Africa, what has been happening in the
reality is your expectations don't matter. They're not relevant.
But what I'm just trying to put in a little
what matters is your expectation and your expectation.
There is a change.
Walk on. Your expectation is what matters, my G. That's what I'm saying. Your expectation is what matters. If we feel like we can unite, what does it matter what our next guy says? That's a reality, my G.
Let's get back to what we're talking about.
Get me? It don't matter.
Anyway, that's
no, for real.
Let's get back to the
because
original
what I'm saying is,
because they do.
get back to the thing, my G. Allow man to come infect the thing with division talk. Run that.
Quick recap, bro. Quick recap.
Give us a little description on what you're about.
For those that have just come. Too radical, right? Too radical. Sorry, bro. This too radical. Let's give a brief thing before you go. Don't worry about the confusion.
Where do we start? Right here we got
the board. The board's an interesting.
This is a prototyping platform that I put together, basically aimed at people of the black diaspora. That's to get them more involved, more invested in learning about tech, how it works, how these systems that I believe is running us, how they actually work. So how to code things, how to build things, how to invent stuff like satellites, drones, telephones.
Is it right in saying this is a motherboard, yeah?
It's a basic motherboard compared to what we'll be doing in the future.
Right.
Now, the main Africano initiative is basically to be in Africa in 5 years' time with our own 3D printing house printers. Yeah. So I'm right now on the first prototype for just a mini 3D printer. It's not going to be printing houses, but it can print anything else. Now this is going to be geared at people of the black diaspora for the first time. They're going to have something that they can relate to and say, all right, look, a black man built that, a black man coded that. And when they see tutorials online on how to do this, how to build this, they're going to see black faces for the first time. That's pretty much it.
Now, brother, do you have like any contact details, like maybe a YouTube or a website or anything you don't mind getting?
Not yet, we're putting it together. Okay. The name of it is Africano, and we're going to be on YouTube, and we're going to be providing tutorials to people, who want to learn about it. We're also going to be offering them the actual PCB board and the components for them to buy, purchase, and actually, start using and learning the whole platform and how it works.
So a question. Are you a targeted individual?
Am I TI?
Yeah, TI, because you've got that on the top, because I am, you see, and you've got that bit in the middle there, by Raven's Head, about proper state actors.
It is, but it's something I don't want to be talking about it now, but in the future, in the near future, yeah, we're going to talk about all of these things.
The bottom part as well.
Yeah, you see cell phone towers.
Have you been hit with weapons?
Could be.
Have you been hit by weapons?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. It's not about that right now. It's about black economics, military science. This is the stuff that we should be concentrating on now.
This is what I'm most proud of here. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I'm proud of this. Yeah.
Love that.
And so when the prototype is done and when it's done, what kind of things can people potentially build or not build, like on a small scale? What in your mind?
With this prototype here, the next one that we're going to be building and should have done by the end of the year, you'll be able to make your own drone.
Your own what?
Your own drone. So the same technology that they're using in, let's say, a DJI, not as advanced yet. We've got to start small, obviously.
Of course.
But you will be able to start prototyping your own drone with a gimbal on there that has a camera.
And this is what I'm saying, brother, because the thing, you sound like a modest brother, right? But even if this idea, this concept just exists in your head and placed on this paper here, already done a big thing, bro. Do you know what I mean?
You know that.
The strap, you know what I mean? So, and I'm proud to see that, you get me?
The symbolism on it's massive.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So hopefully we can be supporting the brother, yeah? And like I said, we're going to try to bring the community together, because this is a big thing, do you know what I mean? The big thing. So
we need to like change the narrative, inspire the youth to basically, get involved in this stuff because
this is what we call developing human capital around there.
Have you got the original picture for that? For that thing there?
Yeah, that's a computer generated image, and I've
Have
got
you got
an
the original image?
Yeah, somewhere on my phone.
Can
right
you
now.
post it on Raven's?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll send you a picture later.
You're Mark Melanin. Before you go, I'll give you a message.
Post it on that. For real, get that out.
Yeah.
That's a great symbol.
Yeah, we're nearly there.
That just says it all.
Basically,
everything.
I had it redesigned in the shape of Africa because I wanted people, when they looked at it, to go, I'm from Africa. I might be living in the UK or the US, but we all relate back to Africa, and we all need to basically raise Africa up.
He don't even need words.
I beg you take it over there if it's confusion. I beg you take it over there.
Yeah, it's functional. No, it's fully functional. Yeah, just below a Raspberry Pi. Have you heard of Arduino?
Arduino,
yeah. So that's a mega. That's got 50 things.
Technology.
I'm a filmmaker, and I had call it a vision that I should get involved in this at the start of the year, and I've just been working on that in it.
So this 3D model, this is built in 3D model.
Yeah, that's a rendering of the actual PCB.
Oh wow! And what software did you do the rendering in?
What was it? Altium. Yeah, Altium. But you could use any software to make something like this. There's free software out there called Fritzing, all right? And that's if you want to start learning about PCB creation, but you really want to get involved in,
I bet. Just carry on, bro. Just carry on for real. Just carry on.
Just continue what you're talking about.
Trying to create what?
I'm done. I need people to ask me questions, innit?
Bring. They've turned into this Arab
bring the thing forward.
This Arab.
What's that, sir?
Now they've taken the whole conversation into a different dynamic.
What is it about?
It's now Arabs and black shouldn't marry this one. It's not even
No,
worth
we
talking
got-
about. Let's talk about something real. This is CEO, right? Come on, let's talk about what you do and how advanced this is going to be.
He's been talking about it. We're talking about it for a couple of hours now still. Yeah, so you have to
He's only talking about that bit there.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm saying. We've been to different levels. But what it was, because we started by the brother was basically saying he'd been watching Speaker's Corner for time, innit? Yeah. And he's saying that enough of the conversation that he feel like we should be having, we're not having around there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I debate religion every week.
And that's what they're having over there.
And it's not like it's not important at a certain time, but there's so many other conversations that we can have.
Of course.
So that's why he's got the no religious talk, stay on topic, and no agent behaviour. Because what he's saying is that the whole Speaker's Corner thing is run by agents out here. Full of agents,
They keep on injecting
so we got to have a purpose and stay on the thing, innit? That's what I'm saying. But in it now, he was saying that he hardly ever hears these agencies being discussed here. But they have so much control over our lives at the moment. That's what I'm saying. But we're not just dissecting the CIA and the NSA and the Army and the Navy and the NASA.
And it's like the corporate companies like the Victoria.
Right.
And
That's what I'm saying.
So we're
not dealing with what's important.
What's important.
Exactly.
Because this is what is to defect you away from the real information that you're supposed to be talking about.
That's right.
And that's why they will keep on injecting that in there. Because it creates division. We're the only race that has every single damn religion. So they know that if they put that in there, it's a boiling pot.
And I'm not one of them guys that said that the religion thing should not be discussed.
No.
But there's a context for it, and it shouldn't be a distraction from us discussing other things.
Religion, as I said, to me, is a form of school of thought. Understanding that the school of thought, but then sometimes we have to take the school of thought, put it aside for 1 second, and let's deal with the real subject that is suppressing us and trying to destroy what we're trying to able to move forward.
So our conversation today is actually touched all of these different things, You get me? I said that big word there, so all I did. Exposure trickery. I thought it was a one word here. I was like, I word this. We don't know the word there. But we've been talking about all this. So like one guy came and took us on some next thing in terms of flat Earth theory.
That's the division again.
We were talking about military science and black economics and that kind of thing there. But right now, how it started is we were talking about how to use software. The various different softwares that we got here. That the youth can use, that's the stuff that we use at the moment. You know what I'm saying? The different ones in terms of graphic design, in terms of filmmaking, animation, and 3D printing, because the brothers into 3D printing. right? And the usages of these things in today's world, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. So we were talking about that, and you know, different technologies, isn't it? That's what I'm saying.
And that comes to the balls of understanding your creativity.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't really understand that. That if we utilize our creativity, there's nothing that we can't do.
That's right.
Of course, man. We can get to space.
The 3D thing is the next big discovery, though.
Yeah.
Say what?
The 3D printing, that's the next big discovery.
Well, it's already happening,
old,
and white industries are already getting their hands into it. That's why black people need to.
Yeah, it's a serious thing.
Bones, bro.
Yeah, they created. Yeah, I was gonna say that earlier.
What would you suggest in being able to manifest this into reality?
Exactly.
What's your road to how we can get involved and how we can make this a reality based on the technology and what we can do?
Well, right now I'm trying to finish all of my designs for the Africano and put it together. We've put together an educational system of how we mean to educate sort of like the youth and anyone that's interested in it. I'm working with another guy who basically is a black drone manufacturer, and he's got a small little place in Africa where he's actually developing these
Independent
drones.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, independent.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm trying to basically bring everything together. I'm also doing other stuff like my normal filmmaking activities. I ain't really got that much time, but when it's done, innit?
Never say you've not much time. We've always got time.
Just
keep it moving.
Is that guy exporting his drones then? Is he a company that's establishing and exporting it? Is he selling his drones?
He wants to manufacture them from the continent.
Okay.
Yeah. And the same too, like eventually we want to manufacture this and have people say that, yeah, it's actually manufactured from Africa.
So he needs buyers and we need customers to basically support him.
My dream is to get everyone like off the streets and learning this stuff, and then everything would change, but we'll see if that happens, innit?
And this is what the brother mentioned a while ago, mentioned human capital, yeah? And every revolutionary movement that's talking about nation building has to invest in human capital, which is the education of like their future generations in terms of expertise, yeah? You know what I'm saying? And this is, because we're living in the digital age, we have to be equipped to meet the challenges of the age that we're living in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one of the major things that we can teach our children, whatever else we're doing, yeah, is science and technology, my G. Marcus Garvey taught us these things. You know what I'm saying? And this, when I saw this, I got excited at it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know about this, but I know is that it's important for me to have a grasp of what it means, so that I can pass it. Because I've got a son now, you know what I'm saying? So that he can learn these things. Whatever else it becomes in life, yeah, it's about us being able to increase the capacity and the human capital of our people, so we're not relying on our people. And also, so that when nations on the continent and in the Caribbean become more self-sufficient, us in the diaspora would have been preparing ourselves to be able to contribute something serious. Right. So we're not going back to put up our foot, you know, and say, yeah, but they're yard, no, but they're Africa, no, Africa is Zion. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's not just about that, fam. We're there to do work. We're bringing skills. We're bringing knowledge. We're bringing resources. Yeah,
that's
me,
the beginning.
Exactly.
That's the beginning,
yes, but when I say bringing, you know, we're not bringing it like our people over here don't have it. You know, we're bringing it to contribute and be in concert with our people back home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that I love what the brother's doing, innit? Yeah, and I love the conversation that him bringing this here, yeah, has enabled us to have. Because we need more of it. That's what I'm saying, on COE and all the other platforms. It's more the kind of conversation that we're going to need to be having, you know what I'm saying? To inspire, because it's all good. All the conversation can inspire, you know, but there are certain conversations that allow us to broaden our scope to certain things. So we're not going around in circles, we're actually introducing our people to something new, fam. And people are observing these things. Man, them have just come down because they've seen man, yeah, on, like, they don't know about Speaker's Corner, but they see man on COE, fam. And they're not going to come and just to vibe with the people that they've seen in this circle right about here. You know what I'm saying? So just us be able to have this conversation now so that you them can know there's a brother that's building motherboards, fam, in London. Get me? It's not a joke, fam. That inspired me, my G. So yeah, we love that. You know what I mean?
I had a friend, a Jamaican friend.
Yeah.
We went to college together.
Yeah.
And around about 2002, we were both programming together. And around about 2002, he came up with this idea and he was explaining it to me. You remember the XDA phones back in some of the very first mobile phones? All they had on them was Windows, like a cut-down version of Windows, yeah? So there were phones, you could talk into them, but they also had a 3-inch screen with a Windows operating system on them. They were quite useless because you were trying to do Windows tasks on a tiny little screen, which is a dumb. It turned out to be a dumb idea. And this friend of mine, he would tell me, he told me his ideas, but I didn't quite grasp the significance of them. And I kind of got the gist of it. I thought, but this isn't going to work. How is this going to work? I didn't have any knowledge of the sensors that mobile phones have today. And then in about 2007, the iPhone came out, and then it clicked that that's what my friend was
talking about. You see what I'm saying?
So you can find these people within your community. He was 5-6 years ahead of what's that guy's name? Apple guy?
Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
He was 5 years ahead of Jobs. He went to O2 to tell them this idea to become partners in it,
and they stole it
and develop basically an iPhone. Yeah. And he told me he was going, and about 6 months later, I said to him, so what happened with your idea and that you're telling me about? And he said, oh, they shelved it.
They didn't shelve it. They used it.
They stole it.
They said that they really loved it. They really loved my idea, and I'm going back.
Yeah.
And that's when I asked him, so what happened when you went back? He goes, I never went back because they told me they shelved it. And then I think they must have stolen his idea.
Yeah, these things happen all the time.
All the time. Yeah, don't get twisted.
The point of the story is to tell you that you have these brains in your community.
We know. But I appreciate the example, because I'm saying that what you just said happens all the time. It's not, especially in the medical field. Especially in the medical field. There's a lot of stuff out there in terms of information, in terms of black African doctors, who have just died, gone missing, and been assassinated because they found treatments and cures for different things. This happens all the time. Right? That's what I'm saying. But even beyond that, lesser known people like that, people from all Uganda and Sudan and them places there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You see stories about pharmaceutical buildings being bombed in places like Sudan and Somalia and then places there. Just what I'm saying, this happens all the time. That's what I'm saying. So let's not get like, we have to know that we're doing this stuff. It's a significant
build yourselves a community of scientists that communicate with each other. You got to do that. Once you've done that, that's going to be your first step to success in this field.
This is what he's talking about. So you know what I'm saying. This is exactly what the brother is talking about.
That's a nice little twist to Africa.
Building that community of scientists. That's what Raven's talking about. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, get me. Let me just see if this camera's still.
So you're also going to put out lessons on how to...
Yeah. This, I mean, for example, the designs in Afrikino, we've got about 8 different designs that are coming. 2 have been designed so far.
8 designs that are going to be whittled down to one, or
no, variations of this. To do different things. Like, you know, so we're going to have a Raspberry Pi type version as well. This is all in the future. You know, starting off with just the basic Arduino.
But the drone thing as well. If you can get them produced in Africa, so that Africans can buy them, because they're expensive even by the standards here. And I can't afford one of those.
Yeah, but even if it's, I mean,
it's probably not for that. But that's not the main purpose for this.
Our main goal is to inspire, to get people thinking and learning about the things that they are currently not doing.
Just get into
do you know what I mean? We might have a shift in 5 years' time once enough people have woken up and gone, this is what we need to be doing. Let's all, invest our time, money, energy into this, and we can maybe transform the continent or other countries like that.
I think you should have a few physical classes as well, where people can come together in the physical class and learn this.
We got like boot camps that we're thinking about. Like the whole thing. Like this is we plan for this to be a game changer.
We have a YouTube channel.
It's coming.
What is it called?
We're Afrikino, isn't it?
That's the channel.
It's coming. It's going to be Afrikino. That's it. YouTube. Yeah.
Let me see the spelling.
Website's not up yet, but it will be.
Oh, okay.
You got questions, huh?
Yes, a little one. It's about the poster again. I like what you say.
If we can wait to explore this until next week, maybe.
No. It's the poster as a whole. But I'm going to say that what you said there is positive about the chip manufacturing.
Yeah.
But if you believe in the rest of the poster, in regards to developing Africa, you know that's not going to happen. Because there's going to be so much infiltration that your dream won't occur.
You can't
it
think
won't
like that.
come to manifestation.
Why?
Because there's so many
all of these forces.
provocateurs,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
more.
But do you know,
So
I believe.
That's why I'm so negative myself.
Yeah, yeah. From my current research, I believe the reason why they've been so successful is because no one talks about it. And pointing cases here, I've been watching Speaker's Corner for the last year and however much. I've maybe heard someone mention the CIA and MI5 like 5 times. Why is not people talking about this every single day?
They're scared. I'm not scared. Because I keep bringing it up.
Well, there we go.
I love talking about institutions.
Like if
that
people
doesn't bother me. I am a TI, by the way, so I don't care. They know about me.
Right,
so that's why I want to talk about the whole thing. But if you're going to leave it to another time, I'm happy with that. But what I'm trying to say, that if you believe in the dream of the drones, with Africa development and the third world in general, you know that these agencies, one of their main purposes is to stop that from happening.
There we go.
And they have done.
But
they have done for a long time. They've been very successful.
If everyone wakes up.
Even the other fella that asked the question earlier about the countries, tribes fighting against them, that's because of colonialism. Colonialism causes tribes to fight, and then they put artificial borders, and then to separate the tribes who are fighting.
Why do you think they want to thwart?
If left undeterred, unprovoked, these people would happily mingle together without any borders.
Why do you think these people want to thwart the Africans to steal their resources?
Because it's a race. It's race. Race is life.
No, you need us
Everybody's
to survive.
in a race. Everybody's in a race.
You've been
All the continents
surviving
are in a race. You have
from the
empires
resources
rise
on
and
the
fall.
continent.
At the moment, the Western Empire is at top, and they're desperately trying to cling on to that. And there's lots of challenges. So that's what it is, basically. It's a race.
How does it help them to
supremacy?
To suppress Africa, it helps them, you're saying?
Yes, and to get their resources on the cheap. That's what it is.
So that's what I was
They get the
asking, it's
resources
about
on
the
the cheap
resources.
because they fix the prices. And primary resources aren't worth anything. Secondary and tertiary, when you actually make something with it, that's when they put the value added. But they get all the value added because they do the production process. So the primary resources, they fix all the prices. So it's terribly unfair.
Welcome to Black
Town. So I don't
You're a
see
business
much
card, man. Yeah, take one of those, yeah?
They
Like,
should,
we'll be ready in like a month's time or something.
I like this now, but still, you talk some serious stuff.
You know about it.
Unite.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? One currency. That's what I'm moving for.
Uniting
Pan-African.
separation is what's needed.
Get involved.
Separation. I
Brother.
preach separation, yes, always. Separation. Yeah. I know people say unity, but with the overseers on top and we're at the bottom. I don't want that kind of unity.
Everyone needs to be
separation
Pan-African.
first. When we're on the evil kill, when we're on the evil kill with everybody else, then we can look to integrate. But until then, we can
a European
separate.
Union style Africa won't work. A European Union style Africa won't work.
No way.
Yes,
But I mean,
we've got African unity. There's a body.
African
but there's
Union.
interference, isn't there? They keep trading with the outside, and they need to separate. You understand? They got all the resources. They don't need to trade. They don't need to trade because they've got all the resources. But leaders, it's the leaders' fault. They enter into bad agreements with the Western companies, and they give away the primary resources.
Can't take over everything from your melody.
Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
And then the constant saddle with debt. They get their hand out, they send it back to the European bank accounts, national banking. But when they get overcharged, they will go back on it. And it goes over and over again.
And at least where the people can live, because we can all say that when we're here.
They know they're bad.
The West is not paying market value for resources. They're taking West is paying market value for resources. The West is not paying market value for resources.
I don't think so. I think the price